WQAD News 8, this is WQAD This Week.
Good morning. It's Sunday, January 29th. Thanks for joining us for News 8 This Week. I'm Jon Diaz. Back in August, President Biden signed the Pact Act into law. The law is intended to help veterans suffering from illnesses tied to exposure to burn pits, Agent Orange, and other toxic substances. Already, hundreds of thousands of veterans have sought treatment under the expanded benefits, but the Office of Veterans Affairs says millions could be impacted. This week, we spoke with the Department of Veterans Affairs to understand what the new program could mean for you and your family. And joining us now is Ronald Burke. Ronald, thank you for taking the time this week to talk with us.
Good morning, and thank you. My pleasure.
Let's talk a little bit about the Pact Act. Can you give us an idea of what it is and what benefits it provides to veterans?
I can. So this is the largest piece of legislation in our history. It provides expanded health care and benefits. It's added more than 20 presumptive conditions for our veterans that were subjected to burn pits and other toxins. It has added additional presumptive locations for those veterans exposed to Agent Orange and radiation. And it also opens up free toxic exposure screening to all veterans currently in our VHA system. And this has the potential to impact millions of our servicemen and women.
This impacts veterans who have served over perhaps different time periods over many years. Can you talk a little bit about how this all came about? Why now? Not to say why did it take so long, but obviously the need was there. Tell us how this came about.
Yeah, I think this was an expansive piece of legislation. It took a lot of work, a lot of collaboration with many folks, not to mention all of those, but certainly Congress, our Veteran Service Organization, representatives. A lot went into this. I'm most excited to talk about the opportunity that this provides us as employees in VA. We have an opportunity to serve those that served, to continue to put veterans and survivors first. And I can tell you, John, we're very excited about the opportunity to deliver on the promise that comes through the Pact Act legislation.
You mentioned the presumptive conditions and the areas where these veterans served. Can you explain what that means exactly?
Sure. And so when we talk about presumptives, what we're basically saying is that we've conceded when we know a certain set of facts, specific locations, certain things that our veterans were exposed to, and then specific conditions related to that exposure, we concede that they're related. And that opens up the door for both health care and compensation benefits via what we call the presumptive process.
Let's talk about the response that you have seen so far. Claims have been coming in for a little while now. How many claims have you seen? And is there a way to get a sense of where these claims are coming from, or are they just really coming from all over the country?
Well, they're coming from across the country. And since August 10th, we've received more than 260,000 claims related to Pact Act. We've already made decisions. We've already decided more than 85,000 of those claims at a near 80% grant rate. And those are coming from both veterans and survivors. We are excited about the response, but we know there are many more veterans and survivors out there eligible. And we really want to encourage your listeners to file their claims. Don't wait. Please file your claims. We are ready to assist.
If you can look in your crystal ball for a second, can you give us a sense of what the eventual impact will be for veterans, perhaps years down the line as you continue to process these claims? Some obviously will get accepted. What do you think the impact on the lives of these veterans will be and their families?
Well, I think the impact is positively immeasurable. Getting folks the health care that they need, getting folks the disability compensation that they need, ensuring that survivors and family members are taken care of, when their time of need arises. It's a positive impact. We're getting folks in the Veterans Health Administration. They're going to be getting their toxic exposure screenings, and they'll be able to get those at least every 5 years. And I think the impact is extremely positive, and it will impact millions of veterans.
Obviously, with the big influx of claims, there has to be an infrastructure there to support the processing of that. Can you talk about what the organization has done to really make sure that, if a veteran files a claim, that they aren't sort of then stuck waiting longer than maybe they need to?
Yes, we've been focusing on people, processing, and technology. Last year, we hired nearly 2,000 net new employees. We're on track to hire an additional 1,900 this year alone. We are focusing on recruiting, training, retaining employees. We are focused on tools and technology that allow us to improve the processing times as well as the accuracy. My message would be we're ready. Don't hesitate to file a claim. We know there's going to be an impact to our backlog, but we have served more veterans in the past 12 months than at any time in our history. In fact, more than 1.7 million claims completed, and we're going to break that record this year. So please don't hesitate, file your claims. We're excited about the opportunity.
And then perhaps most importantly, for any veterans or families who may be watching, where do they need to go to get more information, and how do they file that claim?
Yeah, there are two main areas that I would like to direct your viewers to, and that would be our website, va.gov/pact, or to our 1-800-MY-VA-411. We ask that you contact us. You can also go into any VA facility. There is no wrong door to walk through. We're all here to assist. But again, our website is very helpful. Our telephone number is staffed and ready to answer questions. And we ask you, please, when in doubt, please file your claim.
And then just real quick, is the filing process as simple as it can be? Because it can be intimidating to kind of go through these steps sometimes.
Yeah, that's a great question. Our website is extremely helpful, but also on the website is a list of accredited representatives, folks that partner to ensure that veterans are filing their claims. That has made the process easy, much easier. It is a streamlined process. Use the website, contact one of the accredited representatives at the county, state, or national level, and we've made the process as simple and smooth as possible, and I would encourage veterans to file through that means.
All right, great info for our veterans. Ronald Burke, thanks for taking the time this week to talk with us.
Thank you very much.